Welcome back to the Don't Call Me Gentile podcast. If you're listening from a source other than the website, you can find more information at Don't Call Me Gentile, all one word, no punctuation.com. That's don'tcallmegentile.com.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Revelation chapter 7, verses 1 through 4.
Have you ever heard anyone claim that the church is spiritual Israel or something similar? Did you know that this isn't just anti-Semitic, but anti-biblical as well? Some call this replacement theology, but regardless of what name or terminology we apply to it, it proves here to ultimately be the poop of the bull. These 144,000 are not spiritual Israel. They are Israel in the flesh. The text even goes on to explain that there will be exactly 12,000 sealed from each of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Aser were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephthalim were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
Revelation chapter 7, verses 5 through 8.
The observants may note that the listing regarding the 12 tribes has changed from its original inception in the book of Genesis. It's a bit of a rabbit trail, but it's worth investigating. Suffice it to say that there are the original 12 tribes and the tribes of Ephraim, who is completely absent here, and Manasseh, who are the sons of Joseph. In places where property is being allotted, such as in the book of Joshua, Levi is notably absent as they have been reserved for the priesthood. It's yet another rabbit trail. But have a look at Hebrews chapter 5 with this in mind, and I think you'll see that what the author has to say makes a lot more sense. John goes on to further delineate these ethnically Hebrew persons from the church, as we have traditionally understood it.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Revelation chapter 7, verses 9 and 10.
Just in case there was any confusion regarding the identity of the 144,000. In verse 11, we see the living creatures, the elders, and all the angels paying proper respect to the King, bowing down to him in worship.
And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
Revelation chapter 7, verses 13 through 17.
I don't have to say it, right? You see who these people are. Moreover, have you ever wondered why the interlude? Why is there such a stark break in an otherwise steady flow regarding the opening of the seals? Why, after the sixth, does everything seem to take such a significant pause? I don't have some deeper philosophical point to make, but there is something significant herein that I can't quite put my proverbial finger on. It's understood that 7 is the number of completion, and obviously the opening of the seventh seal will mark a finality of the transfer of ownership regarding the earth. It's almost as if all of creation pauses to take a deep breath before moving forward. There are a lot of misconceptions regarding the apocalypse, not only from secular sources, but from within the body of believers as well. And no wonder. Much of what we're being shown concerns matters, events, and even possible technologies we've yet to see. This can, quite naturally, lead us down a path of supposition and conjecture. But I'm not interested in supposition or conjecture. I'm interested in truth. With that in mind, before we continue on, I think it would be prudent to take a moment to think about what we've seen so far. In the words of a dear friend and mentor, let's debrief it. Thus far, working from chapter 4 onward, we have seen the following take place. John has been taken into the throne room in heaven, wherein we have seen God enthroned, the 4 living creatures, and the 24 elders who represent the first fruits of the resurrection. A scroll with 7 seals was introduced, which we identified as the title deed to the earth and creation. Only the Lamb of God was found worthy to open or even look into it. The first 4 seals were broken, from which we saw 4 riders, colloquially known as the 4 horsemen, come forth. The Antichrist, war, famine, or pestilence, and death, with all Hades following behind. The 5th seal was broken, and we were shown the souls of the martyrs under the altar of God, crying out for justice. They are told they must wait a little while longer until their number was fulfilled. The 6th seal was broken, and the earth shook violently. The sun turned black, the moon red, stars fell, and the sky rolled up like a scroll. All of this causing the self-important people of the world to seek refuge in the earth from the coming of its rightful owner. Oh, the irony is palpable. 144,000 ethnic Hebrews were sealed with the sign of the living God, and a numberless multitude came before the throne in worship and service.
And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer, and filled it with fire of the altar, and cast it into the earth. And there were voices, and thunderings, and lightnings, and an earthquake.
Revelation chapter 8, verses 1 through 5.
The 7th seal is broken, the title deed revealed, and Yeshua, rightful master and king of all, officially possesses the legal rights he paid so dear a price for. Is it not fitting that creation responds accordingly? First, we see a moment of silence lasting about half an hour, after which we again see creation responding to events in anticipation of complete redemption. Once again, the events we see here, lightning, thunder, the earthquake, still not God's wrath. Notice also that upon the opening of this final seal, trumpets were given to 7 angels. Think of these events as a royal coronation, because it is. It's the coronation of King Yeshua. When an earthly king is crowned, there is reverence, awe, and grandeur. There will be a ceremony, a public transfer of authority, after which trumpets will blare, ensuring that the whole region knows the king has assumed his throne. And that's precisely what we see transpiring here in the book of Revelation. You see, you and I already know that he's king. He knows that he's king. Hereafter, the entire world, and all of creation for that matter, is going to know that he is king. Now let's take a closer look at that angel, the one with the censer. And there are a few things that strike me here. The first being that this angel is identified as having a golden censer, and that he is given a large amount of incense to offer on the altar along with the prayers of the saints. I find it striking because we see here that the prescriptions of the tabernacle are indeed modeled after those performed in heaven. Have a look at Exodus chapter 30. In fact, the author of Hebrews stated this plainly.
For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle. For, see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount.
Hebrews chapter 8, verses 4 and 5.
Note also that in the passage from Revelation, the prayers of God's people ascend before the throne along with the smoke from the incense. The angel then takes fire from the altar, places it in the censer, and throws the censer onto the earth. The question we should be asking ourselves here is, what is going on? Do you understand that there are 2 altars? There is the altar for the burnt offering, and a second altar of incense. This, again, is described in Exodus chapter 30. The altar of incense was placed in front of the curtain, directly in front of the Ark of the Covenant, which you understand is a throne, right? Remember, the tabernacle was and is a model of the one in heaven. We know that the angel offers up the incense and prayers before the throne on the altar of incense, because it states that he does so on the golden altar that is before the throne. John is being very specific here because he is delineating between the 2 altars. It appears to me that the angel begins stationed at the altar of burnt offering, then takes the incense and prayers to the altar of incense, then returns to the altar of burnt offering and places some of that fire into the censer, which he then throws onto the earth. Clear as mud? Yeah, it was for me too. When I encounter such issues, I return to the fundamental principles of understanding Scripture, namely those I adopted from Greg Hirschberg of Beth Yeshua. And in this case, it's, if it's true, it's not new. And if it's new, it's not true.
Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them as it were a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of the throne. And he spake unto the man clothed with linen, and said, Go in between the wheels, even unto the cherub, and fill thine hand with coals of fire from between the cherubims, and scatter them over the city. And he went in my sight.
Ezekiel chapter 10, verses 1 and 2.
The context of Ezekiel chapter 10 is that of impending judgment, The act of scattering the coals over the city was not judgment in and of itself, but a sign that judgment was going to be rendered. This is reinforced in Ezekiel chapter 11 as that judgment is meted out. I see a stark corollary with Revelation chapter 8 verses 1 through 7 here. So then, if this is not a judgment in and of itself, why are there crashes of thunder, roaring, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake? As I stated previously, I believe it's because creation has waited 6,000 years for redemption and restoration. Here, once more, we see the earth respond to the King in anticipation, as though it is saying, "Even so, come, Lord Yeshua." Until next time, Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you.
Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
This has been the Don't Call Me Gentile podcast. Thanks for listening.